ידי נפש אב הרחמן אב הרחמן משוך עבדך אל רצונך אל רצונך ידיד נפש אב הרחמן אב הרחמן משוך עבדך אל רצונך אל רצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו היה ישתחווה אל מולדתך ידי נפש אב הרחמן אב הרחמן משוך עבדך אל רצונך אל רצונך אל רצונך
Beautiful.
Hi, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom. Hi.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, Cantor. It's been this is the first time I just realized this is the first time that you and I are doing Friday night since your ordination, right? Since
Yes.
you are
Do I look
officially.
different? Can you see? Can you tell?
I don't know. Your head hasn't grown, so maybe
Okay,
I
good.
don't know.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. Maybe that's just with time in clergy, the head grows. I don't know. But it's good to see you, Cantor Katz.
Thank you.
It's good to be with you. My pleasure. I want to welcome all of you who are out there as we welcome Shabbat. I need the rest. I need the break. And we live in a complicated world, one that Shabbat is not an escape from the world. Shabbat is a different way of processing what we go through in the world. So I want to join you for the next however long we're together to join us in Shabbat. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you want to comment, you want to say hello, you want to just reach out. Sometimes it's important to feel seen and to be seen. So we welcome you. We're going to continue. We already begun. So Psalm 95 can be found if you have the Lev Shalem Sidur. It's on page 11. If you don't, it's Psalm 95.
I'm going to count on you for a little call and response here, Rabbi.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Lechu neranena
Lechu neranena
L'Adonai
L'Adonai
Nariya L'tzur Yishenu Nekadma fanav Betoda Bizmirot Narialo Lechu neranena נעביר לצוישנו נקדמה פנה בתודה בזמירות נביע לו לכו נרנן על אדוני נעביר לצוישנו נקדמה פנה בתודה בזמירות נביע לו כי הגדול אדוני ומעל גדול על כל אלוהים אשר בידו מחקרי ארץ ותועפות הרים לו אשר לא היה בו עשהו ויבשת ידם יצאו לכו נרנן על אדוני נעביר לצוישנו נקדמה פנה בתודה בזמירות נביע לו לכו נרנן על אדוני נעביר לצוישנו נקדמה פנה בתודה בזמירות נביע לו בוא נשתחווה ונכרע נברכה לפני אדוני עושנו כי הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו אמריתו וצאן ידו היום בקולו תשמעו אל תגשו לבבכם כמריבה כי יום מסע במדבר אשר ניסוני אבותיכם בחנוני גם ראו פועלי לכו נרנן על אדוני נעביר לצוישנו נקדמה פנה בתודה בזמירות נביע לו לכו נרנן על אדוני נעביר לצוישנו נקדמה פנה בתודה בזמירות נביע לו. Let's do a little more call and response here. 40
שנה
עקוד
בדור ואומר
עם טועה לבבהם והם לא ידעו דרכי. And I'll finish this last line. אשר נשבעתי בפי אם יבואו נא מנוחתי שיבו לאדוני כל הארץ שיבו לאדוני שיר חדש שיבו לאדוני כל הארץ שיבו לאדוני שיר חדש Sing unto God all the earth a new song I will sing unto God a new song Sing unto God and we'll all sing along all the earth a new song unto God שיבו לאדוני כל הארץ שיבו לאדוני שיר חדש שיבו לאדוני כל הארץ שיבו לאדוני שיר חדש. If you're following along in Lev Shalem, we're going to turn over to Psalm 98 in the middle there, and we're going to sing these words Zamru.
Wait,
Adonai.
before we do.
Yeah, Dave, pause, yes.
I apologize for interrupting the flow.
No, let's go for it.
But when you were just singing that, it brought me back to the first time I heard that song. I was it was, I don't even know what year it was. I was visiting my older sisters at Camp Ramah in Utterson, Ontario, Camp Ramah, Canada, and I had never heard women sing like that. Because I grew up in an Orthodox community in which it was male cantors, and the power of that song, it's sing a new song unto God, and I was hearing it in a different way. And it just kind of, it, now looking back on it, I look at the tradition of the women in Judaism, from Miriam, from Bilhah and Zilpah, the maidservants who defied Pharaoh and risked their lives to save the Israelites, from all of these people, from Miriam through Julie Silver and Debbie Friedman, and I'm just struck by that memory. So I just wanted to share that. And yes, we are going to continue on the middle of what page?
You know what? It's in Siddur Lev Shalem on Psalm 98, and that, I believe that's page 17 or 18. And we're going to be in the middle of that psalm. I think we're on 18. I'm actually following in my folder here, so I don't remember exactly which page it is in the Siddur. But we're just going to sing this line, Zamru, to sing to God, Bechinor, like this. And this comes from my friend Cantor, Jackie Raffi, and Josh Warshawski. So it starts out like this. Zamruya, 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 Bechinor, Bechinor, B'kol Zimra, Zamruya, Bechinor, Bechinor, B'kol Zimra, B'chatzot Zerot, B'kol Shofar, Hariu Livnei HaMelech Adonai, B'chatzot Zerot, B'kol Shofar, Hariu Livnei HaMelech Adonai, Zamruya, Bechinor, Bechinor, B'kol Zimra, Zamruya, Bechinor, Bechinor, B'kol Zimra, B'chatzot Zerot, B'kol Shofar, Hariu Livnei HaMelech Adonai, B'chatzot Zerot, B'kol Shofar, Hariu Livnei HaMelech Adonai. Mizmor LaDavid, Habu LaDonai b'nei Elim, Habu LaDonai, Kavod ba'oz, V'LaDonai kevod shemo, Hishtachavu LaDonai behadrat kodesh, Al Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'koach yain einai, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayshaber Adonai et arzei Lebanon, Vayakidem kemo egel Lebanon, Besirion kemo ben re'emim. Hey, yeah, Kol Adonai chotzev lahabodesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechol alayalot, vayechasof uve'arot uvehechalo, kulo omer kavod. Hey, yeah, Adonai lama bu yashav vayeshev Adonai melech le'olam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yebarech et amo b'shalom. Yananaya, yananaya, yanaya, hayay, yananaya, yananaya, yananaya.
In just a moment, we're going to sing the Chadodi. We're going to walk up the stairs to the door where Shabbat can be found. We're going to join ourselves with the mystics who brought on Shabbat in Svat, didn't mean to rhyme, the mystics who sought union with God through song, prayer in its essence is a mystical commandment. It's a commandment to commune with the divine, to talk to God, something that is not rational and yet necessary at the same time. And we're on L'Chadodi, and just if you want to close your eyes, if you want to take a deep breath and let the air out and just be present. There's so many things that pull our attention in so many different directions, but just for now, let the davening, let the tefillah, let the prayer wash over you as we welcome Shabbat, and let Shabbat wash over you as well.
לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד שם ולתפארת ולתהילה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי כי בא אורך קומי אורי 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 שידבר בי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בלגן בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחדותי לקראת קלה פני Shabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, mizmor shir yom haShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer meleshimcha elyon, ulezamer leshimcha elyon, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, מזמור שיר יום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני, מזמור שיר יום השבת. טוב להודות לאדוני. אדוני מלך גאות לבש, לבש אדוני עוז התעזר, אל תיכון תבל בו תימות, נכון כיסך מאז, מעולם אתה. נעשהו נהרות אדוני, נעשהו נהרות כולם, יישאו נהרות דוח ים. מקולות מים רבים, דירים משברי ים, עדי במרום אדוני, עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נא בקודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
Oh, I love that. You. Oh, Cantor Katz, Cantor Katz. I feel like I look tired because I feel tired. It's Shabbat. It's a great day to have Shabbat. You know, we talk about how holidays come early or come late. Holidays never come on time, but somehow, some way, Shabbat always comes on time. It's a day of rest. We know that. It's a time of mitzvot, right? It's a time to recalibrate and take stock, to realize what our priorities, what our true priorities, what's important in life. As we sang the Lecha Dodi, we said Zachor v'Shamor b'dibur achad, that in one utterance, when it comes to Shabbat, we have these ideas of remembering and guarding, Zachor v'Shamor. And the rabbis say that the reason that idea in Lecha Dodi comes from the fact that in the two giving of the commandments, the giving of the commandments in the Torah happens twice. And in one time it says, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho, remember the Sabbath day, and Shamor et Yom. So the rabbis thought, well, why does it change words? Why isn't it one word twice? Why the difference of words? And they said, it's because Zachor means to protect, to guard. Sorry, Zachor means to remember with positive commandments, right? The positive commandments on Shabbat are Challah, Kiddush, special prayers that we read. And Shamor, guarding Shabbat, is we guard ourselves against doing Shabbat like it's the regular week. We guard ourselves against working And malacha, we translate the things that are prohibited on Shabbat, we translate it as work, but it's not actually work, right? It's sometimes drawing, right? Drawing is one of the things. Drawing's not work. So what is it that's forbidden on Shabbat? It's not work. It's creation, right? Creation on Shabbat, because that is what God, Shabbat, that is God set. Are you having trouble hearing me? Okay, good. Because God took a break from creation on Shabbat. And so we take a break from creation on Shabbat. We don't do our work. We don't do all of these things. We don't plant. We don't reap, sow, all those things. We don't work in the garden. If you're a gardener, my mom loves her garden. It's not work for her, but she can't do it on Shabbat. There's one exception. There's one exception on Shabbat against one exception to the prohibition to create, right? It's creating a life. It's having sex, right? Some people joke around. I remember my time in youth group, and I'm sure other people remember, if you were USY or NTSY or you went to camp or whatever, the joke about the double mitzvah, right? And I'm going to talk about sex. So if this makes you uncomfortable, now would be the time to turn the channel. But the idea of sex on Shabbat is not just right. We think mitzvah, oh, it's a good thing. No, mitzvah doesn't mean good deed. Mitzvah means commandment, right? We are commanded to have sex on this day, right? Judaism is a sex-positive religion. There are places in the Talmud where it discusses the man's responsibility to please his wife sexually. This is part of our tradition, right? There's a story in the Talmud of a student who wants to know about the marital relations, right? And he says, Gam ze Torah, this also is Torah. This is part of what we do. We live embodied Judaism. Judaism is not just in our head. It's not just in our mouth. It's not just prayers and words. It's our entire bodies, and sex is part of that. You know, I didn't know until recently, or really recently, that in some societies, Cantor, Katz, I don't know if you know this, you can shake your head yes or no, that some societies, after the childbearing years, once the woman has reached menopause or they're no longer able to bear children, some families split, they have separate bedrooms. They no longer have sex. They no longer have sex because there's no procreation. Well, that's not Judaism. Judaism does not say that. Sex is not just for procreation. Sex is for the union of our lives together. It's for holiness. It's for I-thou relationships, because we are sexual beings. It is a mitzvah from God, right? We're told that when we get to heaven, God will ask us, why did you not take advantage of the opportunities to have a good life, right? To enjoy the things which are not forbidden, to enjoy the things which are allowed to you. And sex is one of those things. We must protect that ability. And that's where I come to today. Now, Rabbi, we don't want you to talk about politics. Those who have said that in your life, I apologize to put this bluntly, but you're lying. You do want your rabbi to talk about politics. You just want your rabbi to talk about the politics with which you agree with your rabbi. No rabbi gets in trouble for supporting Israel politically. You want the rabbi to agree with you politically. They can speak politically, but only if they agree with you, the rabbi. So today, I'm going to talk about what happened in the Supreme Court because it affects our religious freedom. Judaism is unambiguous about this, and I will give you text. Judaism is pro-choice. In the Torah, it tells us the status of a fetus is not a life. In the Gemara, I'm going to read you a quote from Yevamot 69b. If a woman is found pregnant until the 40th day, the fetus, whatever, the embryo, is only mere fluid. It's considered water. It's as if nothing. In Gittin, in the Masechet, another part of Talmud, 23b, Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi says, a fetus is considered as its mother's thigh, meaning it's a part of the mother's body. And it is though the master transferred ownership of one of her limbs to her, meaning it is the woman's right to choose with what she does to that fetus. It is unambiguous that when it comes to cases of danger to the mother, that a child is not a child until it breathes air, until the head is out, until it is born. Up until then, we are not, it's not a mitzvah as in a good deed. We are commanded to prioritize the woman's life. Here's a Mishnah. A woman who is having trouble giving birth, they cut up the fetus inside her and take it out limb by limb because her life comes before its life. That's not a suggestion, that's a commandment. Our job as Jews, since the time of the Greeks, since we started living in societies that weren't our own, is to challenge the status quo. We have reached an epidemic, and I've mentioned this epidemic. It's an epidemic of a lack of empathy in our society. I have empathy. I understand the religious belief of a Catholic person who believes that life begins with conception, and I support that belief for that person. If they believe that, then that is fine, and they should be able to live their life. And if a person does not believe that, they should be able to live their life as they see fit. This is not the end of this conversation. Unfortunately, this is only the beginning. You need look only further than the decision, than the quotes of the justices themselves who said this is the beginning. Rabbi, don't talk about politics. Well, religion is political. It always has been. Since the time we're told to take care of the orphan and the widow, to take care of those who are disenfranchised, those who are vulnerable in our society, Judaism has always been political and will always be political. That doesn't mean we can't disagree. And I welcome people who disagree with me, and that's fine. I'm merely trying to show you that Judaism has a rich, not left-wing, bleeding hearts, whatever you want to say, Judaism from its inception, its conception, if you will, no pun intended, has been pro-life. The rabbis understood this, and we have to understand this too. My hope and prayer is that this is not a time of drawing lines in the sand. This is a time of conversation, a time of empathy, a time when we reach out to each other to build a consensus, to have conversations, to do the work that must be done to allow our religious freedom to be able to continue, to allow us to express ourselves in our full Jewish expression. It's my hope and my prayer that we live to see a day when empathy is the dominant and not the rarity of it. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. That was really meaningful, and thank you for being so brave. Before you read, are you going to read the Yortzeit list, or we're going to do Kaddish?
I do.
But before you do that, I'm going to play. I'm just going to have a moment here while we're kind of letting that land, what you just said. And this is something I've been playing. I used to play this in college, and I was a much better pianist in college because I was studying piano. But this is the Tchaikovsky Barcarolle, which he wrote as part of his 12 series of seasons for the month of June. I'm just going to play 12 bars of it, and then let's do the Kaddish.
Beautiful. Oh, now I hear my. I've always loved Tchaikovsky. Yeah. In this week, we commemorate the yahrzeits of lives that were lived, of people, of Sandra Pollack and Dolores Foreman, of Anna Szymanski and Sandra Sloan, of Sylvia Bubis and Murad Katan, of Reba Feynman and Yosef Ben Shimon, of Helen Cantor and Raphael Rappaport, of Olga Siegel and Bertha Fleischman, of Philip Chaim First and Joan B. Ward, of Anna Greta Rubin and Valia Batnoa, of Donald Corbett and Zelda Weiss, of Sidney David and Rita Altman Rifkin, and of Mildred Smith. May all of their memories be a blessing. Let's join together in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, the Kaddish Tome. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beis Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam ulmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Just tomorrow morning, services are at 9:30. We're celebrating a lot. We've got baby namings, bat mitzvahs, so join us. It'll be a fun time. You want to take us home? I don't know what we're singing.
All right, let's go home. Let's go home old school.
All right.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.